Howdy, campers. Welcome to my Week 9 extravaganza. I don't even know. You can't even call it that, actually. Falling on hard times, picks-wise. Last week, 7-7. Really? But, I mean, Atlanta beats Carolina in Carolina. The Rams lose to Miami. And Tua throws for like 90 yards. Cincinnati beats Tennessee. Green Bay loses to Minnesota. I mean, no. This is not even possible. Tampa Bay almost even lost to the Giants. They probably should have gone to overtime. What a freaking crappy week. But still 7-7, 7-7. So I'm 62, 39-1 in my less than illustrative season from week 2 onward. So there's that. So I'm going to attempt to do week 9 anyway. Although if I had an agent, they'd be like, Jim, please don't do it. No more. You're embarrassing yourself, son. True. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's all for the glory of sport. Yeah. All right. Let's give it a shot. For all that is holy and not suckitude, let's dive into week 9. And we'll see what happens. Tonight, Green Bay is going to San Fran. Garoppolo and Kittle are both ruled out, so I'm going to go with Green Bay on the road. You get into the Sunday 1 o'clock games. Awful lot of them, always. I've just been noticing lately. There's only 2 or 3 late games. The Giants are going to go to the nation's capital, and they're going to go up against the Fighting Ron Riveras, and I think the Fighting Ron Riveras are going to give themselves a win. And they're rising in that spectacular NFC East. You know, basically, what my prognosticating has been as a season is kind of a metaphor for the New York Giants. No, not the New York Giants, excuse me, for the NFC East. It's basically just everywhere you look, it's substandard. It's like that. It's okay. It's not my best year. But hey, second half starts now, right? So anyway, the Giants are going to lose to the artists formerly known as the Redskins. Chicago is going to go to Tennessee. And Tennessee is a superior team to me. They got a better defense. They got a better offense. And they have Derrick freaking Henry. I'm going to go with Tennessee at home. Denver is going to go to Atlanta. And I'm reticent to pick Atlanta because every time I pick Atlanta, they lose. When I pick against them, they win. I'm kind of hating that dirty bird. But I do believe Denver at home would be a little better. I think Atlanta's going to put a lot of points up. Denver's pass rush is not what it normally would be, without the injuries. I'm going to go with Atlanta. Especially now that they've gotten rid of their coach, they are playing better. So I'm gonna try them again and fully expect that they're going to break my heart again. Yeah. Anyway, Detroit is going to go to Minnesota. Stafford is out, so I don't see any way Detroit's going to hang with Minnesota, but, Minnesota will play down below my expectations just about any time I pick them. So, but we don't get to play opposite day. This is picks. So I'm going to have to pick somebody. So I affirmatively picked the Minnesota Vikings, and again, expect this to end up being wrong because I picked them. Carolina. I have such a great attitude today. Yeah. Carolina against KC. KC at home is very dangerous. I think Carolina on a snapback game is probably going to give them a good game, but I don't see where they can pull this out against KC. KC is a very good team. KC at home. We're going to see the Baltimore Ravens go up against the Indianapolis Colts out in Indy. I do think Baltimore comes back and lays the wood on Indianapolis. Baltimore has a marginally better defense. I do believe they run the ball better, and that's probably going to be the basis of why I'm picking them. I think Jackson's regressing, and I'm hoping I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing, but I'm starting to get a bad feeling there. Or it may be that the league is starting to figure him out a little bit better, but could just be a couple of bad games. Could be something worse. But I'm going to go with Baltimore in this particular time. I think their secondary is pretty good, and you always have that ever-present possibility of Phillip Rivers reaching out and touching somebody on the other team. INT. Yeah, something like that. I wish it was like voodoo or something. I could have a little doll. Throw an interception. That'd be 14-0 every freaking week. If I had enough dolls. That's a thing. I would have to have enough dolls to stick pins in all these guys. It's an idea. Seattle. Seattle's going up to Buffalo. Good weather or bad weather. I'm going to go with Seattle on this one. I think they've got a pretty good offense. Too much inconsistency from the offense in Buffalo. Got a good defense, but Seattle's an offensive team. I think they're gonna do well there. It's an early game. I don't know of any bad weather, but I do believe Seattle's the better team at this point. But I'd like to see them close better. That was my thing about Atlanta early in the season. They just weren't closing. Seattle usually does. They had one, maybe two games they haven't finished well, even in wins. But I'd like to see them more consistently finish the games out better in the second half or particularly the fourth quarter of a game. That's more of a winning tangent. And I will tell you another thing that really bothers me about a deep playoff run for Seattle is when you don't run the ball, you can't take the air out of the ball very well. They need a running game. So if they get up in games like in a Super Bowl, for example, and they can't run the ball, they're going to give the other opposite team opportunities to come back in those games. Okay? Or maybe in an AFC championship game, or an NFC championship game, maybe some guy named Thomas Brady might just take advantage of that. Ask Atlanta about that from a couple years ago. Or, a Super Bowl gone by, right? Because if they'd have run the ball, Tom's got one less ring. And Dan Quinn probably doesn't get run out of town, does he? Mutinies are a bitch. All right, so let me smash and grab the rest of the way through here because I'm talking a lot. It's what I do. Houston. We're going to go, so it's Seattle on the road. Houston is going to go into Jacksonville and probably, from my perspective, they got too much talent on offense particularly. Jacksonville doesn't have talent on either side of the ball. So they do have a really nice mustache on the quarterback, and that's probably about it right now. So again, the Sunday games, Washington, Tennessee, Atlanta, Minnesota, KC all at home, and on the road, Baltimore, Seattle, and Houston. Sunday late games. The Raiders are going to go out to play the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are not finishing well either. So I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think they're a better team. The defense is starting to play better. So that's a game that I'm going to see the Raiders go and start getting some distance between them and 500. Miami's going out to the desert to play Arizona. Tua was not that impressive in his opening salvo, but give the kid a break. But 90 yards isn't going to do it. They had a couple, whether it's special needs touchdowns and things of that nature, to get him a win. He really didn't. He didn't post well. So Arizona has a good enough defense to give him some problems. Good enough of a pass rush, and Arizona they're really starting to prove themselves pretty well. against what I thought they were going to be able to do. But let's see what the league does in the second half to adjust to that offense, and particularly the quarterback. But I'm going to say Arizona at home. Pittsburgh is going to go to Dallas, and that is just going to be, oh my God. I mean, this should be a Halloween game. Like the Headless Horseman. Somebody gets dismembered, their head put on a pike. My God, it's going to be ugly, man. Pittsburgh will lose this game if half their offense basically goes on the COVID list. And only the skill players. It's the only way it will happen. And it's not happening. So Pittsburgh on the road. The Sunday night game, we got New Orleans and Tampa Bay, and that looks like a great game. I'm going to take Tampa at home. Tampa is playing much better than they did during the first meeting. New Orleans is playing well too, but Tampa looks like a Super Bowl contender at this point. So I'm going to take Tampa at home. And on Monday night extravaganza, we've got two really, really, really punching below their weight heavyweights. New England and the dumpster fire of New Jersey, the New York Jets. I'm going to have to take New England. Underwhelming as they have been, they have proven me wrong. I thought they were going to take the division. I see no chance in Hades of that possibly happening. So enjoy the games. And like, share, subscribe, comment, especially the share part, because sharing is caring. Peace, me homies. See ya.